David, text communications before we get back to full phone lines. Asking the question. And again, we operate right here. I can't change the internet and videos and, gotcha. I got a job to do. This is the job. As we sit here today, here's the news you've gotten. The Lions are not going to be aggressive in free agency. Tate Ratledge is your center. And you've got Bernie Lomax on a visit at Rotunda Drive, a.k.a. Jedrick Wills, a.k.a. Marcus Davenport's stepbrother. The guy missed all of last year, only played 8 games and 5 games respectively the 2 years before that. Sweet. The Bears, meanwhile, have traded DJ Moore, gotten a second-round pick, cleared about $20 million in cap, and they seem on the precipice of trading for Max Crosby. Oh, and the day that Drew Dahlman retired, they brought in Biotish from the Commanders, PFF's number 11 center, if you like that stuff. The whole question was, look, if Max Crosby ends up in this division and the reporting about your team is true, I mean, you gotta envy the Bears a little bit, right? Because the Bears seem like they're going for it. The Rams, we know, are going for it. They traded for Trent McDuffie yesterday, all-pro corner. So we're having that conversation. Want to change my opinion. Hope I get to. But as we sit here today, you're like, oh, man. I'm more afraid they're just going to drop a financial bomb on Jahmyr Gibbs, and that's their splash, and my head will explode. David?
I'm jealous. Feels like we are watching the Bears pass us by, watching the Bears make moves and change, while we see the quote-unquote we're good is very rough.
Yeah, and part of that is if Tate Ratledge is your center, I need to see what they do around that. I'm not happy about Decker being back already. I don't view Ratledge moving to center. Yes, while it's an upgrade on Glasgow, that's like saying I upgraded from a dead person. Glasgow was arguably a bottom 5 center in the league. The Lions' superpower 2 and 3 years ago with that O-line, you had a top 10 left tackle, you had the best right tackle, you had the best center. You had a Pro Bowl guard. To get back to that, we're not talking about being acceptable or league average.
You're going to have to spend well, get a little bit lucky, and draft well as well. I mean, it's the trifecta. And if one of those things don't happen, you got a weak link in that offensive line, other teams are going to find that out. And you're also seeing that the defenses may be getting a little better in your division, so good luck with that.
David.
There's no chance the Lions haven't learned their lesson from last season's debacle. They will make at least one free agent trade splash on the offensive line, and we'll draft at least 2 more, right?
I want you to be right, but it seems a lot like what I'm saying about the wings. Steve's got to do something, right? I mean, we've reached hopium. One more, and I want to get to the callers.
Mike, Rico, if Max does go to the Bears, I'll be pissed off. We need help on the D-line and O-line, and Max makes the defense better. And it sounds like the Lions are sitting there on their hands, over their eyes, repeating, I see nothing wrong. Joshua from Huntington Woods.
Okay, let's go to Sean. He's up next, 97.1. Sean, how you doing?
What's going on, Mike?
What's up?
Hey, man, listen, I'm not jealous of the Bears. I respect them. I think they're making winning moves. What I'm tired of is what we have, because we're not making the winning moves. Brad Holmes, we talked about him last week. I believe that he is, in some ways, arrogant because, Mike, you talked about it over the summer before last season, that we need some help for Aiden. Y'all were clamoring. We need this, and all of these cornerbacks ain't worth 2 wooden nickels. You signed DJ Reed, who gets beat. You showed the clips of him getting beat. So all of that stuff came to roost. So I think 2 things can be true when you're talking about winning and being relevant, because you named it. Seattle does it. The Chiefs do it. The Rams do it.
Eagles, Niners.
Bills do it. Exactly. And so here we are once again. Well, everybody's getting like. When the Red Wings were winning back in '92, Bowman would say, "Go get me that guy. This is what we need. This piece right here is going to put us in the championship," and they would be in the Stanley Cup almost perennial, or if not the East Conference Finals. Brad Holmes hasn't made any significant moves to even put us in that platform. So We're looking at the top. We're at the bottom of the NFC North right now. So what relevance are you? You're 9-8. Ask David how that feels, being 9-8 every year, asking and clamoring for the coach to go, and all of the players going past their prime. What we're gonna do? We're gonna waste Aiden's prime. We're gonna waste Marlon St. Brown's prime. The old line is already needs to be rebuilt. He still ain't addressing that. And the other thing about him is he's loyal to a fault. This is a business. Now, I believe it was Hartnett said loyalty is overrated. In some cases, that's true, because we're looking at the loyalty part of it. Where's that gotten us? At some point, the fans going to have to rise up and say, you know what? I demand more. I'm not going to buy the engine block and put it on my head and sit at Ford Field and look at this disaster.
I think that this season is going to be that season. Sean, listen, I am not ready to write their obituary or say I still think they can be a good football team this year, but you know my stance on that. You can keep good. I want to go to a Super Bowl. I want to win a Super Bowl. We know what it takes to get there. This team has to start acting like it. But this season, if it doesn't go the way we hope, and let's say it is 8-9, 9-8, or you make it, but you're out in the wild card round, you'll see fans turn. You will. It's just, this is the natural order of things. The same fans that were pumped up, I was one of them, all the way back in 21 when they got to the last game of the season and they couldn't get in or 22 and they couldn't get in the playoffs, but they beat Aaron Rodgers. And you know what? That was a hell of a turnaround. That's a hell of a season. We're in the right direction. Then it got to, damn it. Hey, all year I did it. We're going to win the North. We're winning a home playoff game. And they did that.
Bro, you had them winning the Super Bowl.
The year after.
I
did.
And it's not a gotcha type of thing.
Oh, I know that.
You were so confident. I remember in Las Vegas, and you're like, they're winning the Super Bowl. And it was like, wow, are you serious? Oh, yeah, they're winning the Super Bowl.
I was. But you drop that playoff game. You miss the playoffs the year after. This is a pivotal year if you're serious about it. And this is where ownership gets called into question. This is where I think a lot of teams struggle with this. Like, I often ask myself, like with David's team, are the Rooneys really serious about winning a Super Bowl, or do they like selling tickets? I know my viewpoint. I think the Rooneys have gotten very comfortable being relevant, filling up their stadium.
Yeah, and I think with the Rooneys
and selling a bunch of beers.
And David,
I have a waiting list,
and I can attest to this because it's the same for me. I think that ownership and management are accustomed to walking down the hallway, looking at the trophy case, saying, "God, I remember we won the Super Bowl. That's a long time ago, but you got the trophy, so you don't feel that motivated as you used to be."
Yeah, and it's also too is like great example. You want to change the narrative, then you have to do different things. I think Chris Ilitch changed the narrative a little bit, not completely, but a little bit, about who he is and what he wants, and allowing Scott Harris to spend that money, to have a payroll in that top 12. That's a narrative-changing moment. Look, for all the credit we've given Sheila Hamp for hiring smart people and letting them be smart, there's always going to come a point where the owner sometimes has to crack some heads. Like in Philadelphia, Jeffrey Lurie is going to go, and Howie Roseman eventually, and go, make the Super Bowl or die trying. Are we going to get that here?
Make the Super Bowl again.
Yeah, win it again, or die trying.
You did it a few years ago. I want to hold that trophy one more time.
Another one.
Yeah.
248-539-9797. We will continue with your phone calls. A lot of people with a lot to say on it. That's great. Because, again, this is going to be a massive offseason. And we're just handling it as we go, and this is the news we get. And with what the Bears did today, it sure seems like they're opening up an offseason here. They're going bold. Whether that's Crosby or Linderbaum, I swear to God, if they get both, I'm taking a day off. I just please don't let that happen. College basketball, big games, spreads, momentum swings, you name it. It's every night. FanDuel giving you a way to have a bigger payout with a college basketball profit boost. Here's how it works. You build any hoops parlay you like, and away you go. Mixed spreads, totals, props, whatever the hell you want to do. It's free country, as we always say. FanDuel.com/Michigan to get started. It's FanDuel. Play your game, 21 and up, present Michigan. Opt-in is required. Minimum 2-leg parlays required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable booster tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms, sportsbook.fanduel.com. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. That's 1-800 Gambler. Jam-packed phone lines, and I want to get to as many people as we can. We go to Chris. He's up next. Chris, how you been? What's going on?
Hey guys, long time no talk. So I get this feeling, and I'm not one of those guys that cried about Ben Johnson leaving and going, into the division and took it personal and stuff. But it's almost like he has went to Chicago and tells them, look, I've seen this plan get us to this plateau. This is what we need to do to get past it. And now they're actually acting on it.
Yeah.
So it kind of feels like, he's kind of doing what the Lions were doing, but just doing it better as a head coach. And I guess that's because he has a good relationship with the GM, and they actually are listening to him. And, it's frustrating because the Lions fan base, we've went through it. We've got to this far where we can actually take our team serious. And then that team down there can't even stay in the city, let alone the state. And here we are, being loyal and good. And our team just wants to act like they can just promote from within at every position and not spend money in free agency. And it's kind of disheartening. And I don't blame fans for starting to kind of not so much turn, but,
No, you
lose
can
all the
grumble.
faith.
You can grumble a little bit. There's nothing wrong with a little grumbling.
So, it's kind of annoying. Like I said, I mean, I'm not going to stop watching the team or anything like that or wearing the swag on Sundays. But at some point, you got to be able to look yourself in the mirror and say, we are getting passed by these teams in the division. And we're not acting on the places where we need to get better. And you've been saying it, Mike. Like, you've been consistent. And, I mean, damn sure you've been right almost every other year or every year when you're saying what this team's going to do, and they do it and they do it and they do it. And then when they let you down, you're just like, there's only so many things you can keep saying and until you're blue in the face, and they don't do it. So yeah. I see why you get pissed.
Yeah, and I mean, Chris, it just comes down to, look, it'll change quickly, but they have to be the agents of change. It's a lot like when we joke about, like, if Todd McClellan doesn't want to get asked about March swoon, do me a solid. Don't blow a 2-goal lead in the third period. Do that for me. Like, it's the same thing. If you want to change the narrative, you're the only one who can do it. We can sit here and talk about it, and it's like, look, I'm a doorknob, but I laid out what their offseason could be 6 weeks ago. I'm glad Dave Burgett validated it. It means what I did wasn't crazy. They have to do it. They could easily have major free agent dollars to get in the horse race and get some serious horses here. But
the
as
crazy thing,
we sit here today, they don't. None of the reporting is suggestive they're doing that. Go ahead, Chris.
The crazy thing is I think it's been longer than 6 weeks that you've been talking about the restructuring the deals. I think it was even way back when it looked like we knew the Lions weren't going to make the playoffs. You were saying, well, here's what they got to do.
Maybe you're right.
And you've been saying it for so long that it's the truth. And I don't know. I mean, at this point, you kind of just got to take everything with a grain of salt. But the one thing you did say, and I haven't heard it said, and I'll hang up, you nailed it. Brad Holmes is a great scout. He's not a GM. And I haven't never thought of that, but you nailed it to a T, man. You guys have a great day.
Thank you, Chris. Look, and Enrico, we talked about this. GM's a weird job. It's one of the only jobs in sports you're truly going to learn on the job. There's no, like, training course for it. So, okay, Holmes comes here. He's a scout. That's what he did in L.A. Now you're charged with the operation. Now, he clearly is able to identify. He's identified enough high-level talent. We've built a floor. No GM, I've always said this, no GM has ever outrun the numbers. It's like if you fail 70% of the time in baseball, you go to Hall of Fame.
Yep.
Fail 80% of the time in horse racing, you're in the Hall of Fame. No one's outrun those numbers. GMs in the long haul, even the elite, barely hit 50% of their first-round picks. You've seen a little bit of a downturn where we're not getting those star players. Okay, the 24 draft class looks like a complete wipeout. And that's all it really takes to cap you to where you get to be. Yeah. Holmes, as a scout, loves his guys. He scouted them. Pays his guys. But what's he missing? He's missing the executive portion of it. The shark. The Les Snead, the Eric DaCosta, the Howie Roseman, the John Lynch, the guys. My job is to acquire the best talent out there. This is the need. F them picks. F that money. Yeah. Get the player. Until I see it, I don't think I'm wrong to hold the opinion I have.
No, you're not. And when you look at those GMs, Mike, you said it better. Look, great job by you. The scout thing, I didn't really see it that way, but yeah, you like this player, so you want to keep this player around because you see the value in this player that nobody else saw. Right. So you don't want to see him flourish with another team. You want to make sure he stays and he does all his best work with your team.
Yeah.
Whereas other GMs, man, I don't fall in love with anybody. except for a few people, unless you got that franchise QB like a Patrick Mahomes. Okay, I'm going to build around you, but everybody else, your job's not safe.
Want to have some fun? Okay. Do you want to know the type of GM who takes a backup quarterback off a blown ACL when you have established quarterback? A scout. You want to know who moves up to take a mystery man with no profile picture and may or may not be a real human being at tackle? A scout.
I saw this kid. Trust me on this. Yeah.
Hey, how about Broderick Martin? That's a scout's pick right there. Tesla, I'm going to give up 3 third-round picks to take a wide receiver from Arkansas.
Who I still believe would have been there at your original third-round pick.
Love the peripherals. Love the RAS score. I'm going to bring him. Scout. Here's the difference. A GM who's gunning after a Super Bowl, I think the lens is different.
You know what happens? A GM takes that scout's call and says, oh, you really want that guy? Yeah, I saw him. He's nice. What are you going to give me to have my pick? And now all of a sudden, you've just traded away your picks to the GM.
And you begin drafting true needs. You draft players who can help you versus what does Brad Holmes always say? They don't even consider the position. They just take the best player. You're past that point. You've built the floor. Now you have 5. Remember when Brad Holmes said, oh, listen, this roster's so deep, I'm worried about guys making the team. He ain't saying that no more, is he?
No. Right now, he's open audition for the Legion of Whom.
Yes, go to Robert, 97.1. Robert, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. How you guys doing?
Excellent. What's on your mind?
So it's a bit frustrating because in different ways, every GM goes to the same path, whether it's Eisman wanting to screw everybody over. You've got Brad Holmes falling in love with his own players. Like the part that it's not even so much the year, it's so much the circumstances behind it. Like I think me and you, Mike, agree that the Blake Griffin trade when it was made was the wrong time. If that same caliber player was available for this deadline, you would be all over Blake Griffin. So the fact of the matter is you've got people like Brad Holmes who don't want to make any moves because, I mean, not to toot your horn, but I mean, the scout part is right on. He spent the hours scouting them.
Hey, Robert, do me a solid.
Interviewing them.
I'm going to do you a solid here. I'm going to pop you on hold for a second because we have a hard out, and I want you to finish your call. And David is being uncompromising today and high maintenance. Sit tight, and I'm going to get right back to you. 97.1. We will get right back to your phone calls. In the midst of all the conversation, though, we want to just touch the table. A lot of stuff and fun, or at least we have fun. I can't say that for all ticket texters. Angry lot. David Music. Yes. The hell do you need from me?
Let's start here with Kyler Murray. Reports indicate that the Colts, because they're locked in on keeping Daniel Jones, the Vikings are shifting their attention to Kyler Murray.
Here, I'll take the smoke.
Now, before you go, because here's the significant part, is that because he was released and a veteran, he can sign for the veteran minimum at $1.3 million.
Okay. Now,
that changes things.
I'd still be shocked, but let's just go under that premise. I like it because they need insurance for McCarthy. Any real insurance, like a Mac Jones, has to be a trade. A Malik Willis, you're hearing anywhere around $25 million. I just believe Kevin O'Connell could teach a shoe to play quarterback. JJ might just be an especially bad shoe.
Like, and if you're JJ, not JJ, but if you're Kyler Murray, you go there and let's just say you sign for $5 million right off the front, and you do well, 1-year deal.
You get a deal.
You could either they'll Sam Darnold you and they'll realize, hey, we let go Sam Darnold, we're not going to let this guy go, or you go someplace else and you kind of rehab your career.
I like it because what other options do they have? If we're being totally sincere about it, this is a bad quarterback draft, and we just talked about cap ramifications. So, yeah, I think O'Connell's a genius.
Sure, but it's funny. Okay, so Kyler Murray gone from Arizona. Do you know who one of the leading candidates are to replace him in Arizona?
Don't say Tua, please.
No. This is a name we haven't really spoke about for a while.
Just say it. I'm all ears.
Jimmy G. From Rams backup to quarterback again. That the Arizona Cardinals are looking at Jimmy Garoppolo.
Come on, man.
Well, but here's what you got to think
Can't
about.
they just go sign Jake Plummer and kick it old school?
No,
Good
Mike.
heavens.
No, if you really think about it, it's smart for what the Cardinals and the Jets are going to do. You just bite the bullet. This is your gap year. You're setting yourself up. Look, if
you turn into the Utah Jazz.
Yeah, you overachieve and you win, maybe you struck gold. But if not, you're lining up for next year's quarterback class. But yes,
you're
Jimmy
right.
G could be
God.
the starting QB for the Cardinals.
Sweet mercy. David.
Let's go over to Atlanta because Atlanta, as we know, don't have a lot of draft picks this year. They traded their first-round pick to the Rams. So the GM says we will never have 5 draft picks again. We have to do better, basically. So the thought is Kyle Pitts will be traded. They did franchise tag him. What can you get for Kyle Pitts? DJ Moore got a second. Can you get a second?
I am the wrong person to ask because I don't like Kyle Pitts. I hate him. I think he's a mutt. So leave me out of this, and I'm just going to allow Rico to die. My answer would be a bowl of dog food. I wouldn't give up anything for him. I don't like him.
David, I think because he was franchise tagged, and I don't know what the number is for tight ends. Is it like $17 million for a tight end?
15.
Okay.
Oh my God.
You probably could get a low end first round. That's best case scenario
For Pitts?
I said best case low end.
If the other guy was loaded on cocaine, maybe.
I thought you opted out of
I'm
this.
sorry. I'm opting out again.
Okay.
My bad.
Low end, like the low 20s, or you're probably looking at a second round selection for him. That's what I'm thinking you can get.
I opted out. I have no
want to hear
opinion.
your thoughts.
A 5th round pick. Nothing. Does no blocking, inconsistent hands. I don't like him.
I think that he was just part of the wrong system.
Okay. What's that? One that plays football?
I mean, what's been Atlanta is the only team that I know that had a ton of stars and decided we're not going to use any of them.
Hey, Drake London has had his moments, and have you seen Bijan run?
Right. But until you get to the goal line, let's take Bijan out the game.
Tyler
Tell me
Algier.
I'm wrong.
No, they just had their version of Tommy Vardell. It was Tyler Algier.
So, yeah, that team, David, they just do dumb things with their star
Hey, they got new
players.
uniforms coming April 2nd.
They sure do.
I got nothing else, man.
So that's why I said probably a second-round pick for him. But if you're a team with like the pick 28
If Kyle
or
Pitts ends
29,
up on the Giants, can I have a day off, please?
no.
Okay. David, more rumors.
This is the first and only petty I will do all day.
Okay.
We've been talking about Max Crosby and the possibility he goes to the Bears. Do you know where Lane Johnson plays in the NFL?
Yeah, right tackle for the Eagles.
And
That
he
is
just came
correct.
back. Yeah.
He went out and tweeted about an hour ago of the eye emojis and then tweeting to Max Crosby. To the Eagles, possibly?
Let me interpret that for you, Mike, since you're not on the social media.
Yeah.
The eye emojis is, oh my goodness, watch out for this. This could be happening. It's happening, folks. And yeah, if you're tweeting at him, that means that maybe you overheard a conversation down the hall of saying, hey, Lane, we're going to go all in for Max. And he just couldn't keep it quiet. He just thought he'd be very subtle about it. And nobody on social media
It would
pay
convince
attention.
me that Howie Roseman is not mortal. He is some form of immortal spiritual witch. I don't even know how it would happen. I don't even want to think about it. Please. I've just arrived at a point where the Eagles might not be
You know what?
awesome.
Well,
Can I
they-
just live in that world for 10 minutes?
They got the seventh tie for the sixth best odds for Max Crosby.
You didn't hear what I said. Can I have 10 minutes in a decade where the Eagles don't kick the Giants in the face twice a year?
Because
Please.
you'll have Kyle Pitts.
I'd rather have Mama Cass
You'll have
than Kyle Pitts.
You'll have Kyle Pitts and K9. There you go. Your offense will be awesome.
Phenomenal. $30 million and 2 trinkets. Okay, David.
Let's move on to the Kansas City Chiefs because they are
So bad.
looking for a running back. And of course,
Jeremiah
they
Love.
cannot get, well,
Let
it
him
starts with
finish.
that, but they believe that they won't get Jeremiah Love, that he won't fall to them.
Okay.
So they top off the market will be Kenneth Walker. Can't get him. They want to spend $8 million per year, according to reports.
I know who.
Rico Dowdell.
Oh, I thought it was going
I've
to be
seen
ETN.
contract predictions around 2 years,
Good with it.
$14 million.
I'm good with it because of what you just said right there. $7 million a year, 2 years. The dude plays with a huge chip on his shoulder. Yeah, and he performed on what is a mediocre team in Carolina. He didn't have all the trinkets and the fun.
Became a
Yes.
star in a fill-in role at Carolina. Shout out for me picking him up in fantasy land. Yes, I thought you were going to say Travis Etienne. I was like, okay, I could see him going there as well to Kansas City. Same kind of a deal where you're not going to break the bank, but you sign him for maybe a 2-year deal, 3rd-year option for the team option. But no, I can see that, David.
Now let's move on to an older NFL player, and that name is Mike Evans.
Uh-oh.
Report says it is still early, but Houston and Kansas City don't seem to be on the radar for Evans. But they have teams like the Bills, Chargers, Niners, and Commanders, and the Giants on the list for Mike Evans. What do you think the price is for him?
I don't.
So K9.
For $14 million and a body cast. I don't care. Oh, what is this? The whole segment to just troll me?
No. I didn't even mention the Giants. You did on the other one.
Okay, here's the thing, Mike. Your team is fun to watch.
Oh, are
it's
they?
up and coming.
They've won
Yes.
7 football games in 2 years. Fun?
Right. No.
Fun?
They're entertaining. They are.
If you think that's fun, wait a year. I'll show you real fun. Go stand outside. I'm going to hit you with my car. What are you, out of your mind?
They're entertaining. You got young players. Scatterboo. Even your backup QB is fun
All right.
to watch.
Mike
David.
Evans, I think it's got to be a 1-year deal. That's all I would tell you.
Yeah, I was about to say probably 1 year, $12 million, I'm thinking.
And then I'll close it out with this because I found this laughable. We all know what the Tua contract looks like. Dolphins want to move on. One high-ranking team executive told CBS they considered taking on Tua, but they would have to get a first-round pick from the Dolphins to do it. Tua's stuck. They're going to just release him and he'll be nowhere else.
Yeah, I think it will boil down to the fact that the Dolphins will just have to admit we made a mistake and we're going to move on. We're not going to look backwards. And yeah, because you'd be ridiculous to give away a first round pick and give away your quarterback and still have to pay. Yeah, just bite the bullet. And here's the thing: release him, be bad, get one of the quarterbacks next year under a rookie scale, and it'll eventually balance itself out.
Yeah, $99 million dead cap hit.
And look, there was a time a few short years ago you thought, okay, this is, man, they're cooking. Now the way he played last year, lacking in confidence, not seeing, he was seeing ghosts.
I was about to say it's the concussion problem for me that I don't.
Well, then
think
you
he's
get
gonna
to
be,
availability and risk. He's unplayable with the way he played last year. Putting the ball in harm's way, it was awful.
That is your NFL Blitz.
Guys, you've heard me talk about Matrix basements. They took a totally unfinished basement for me. They tricked it out, and now it's my favorite place to go in the house. They can do the same thing for you. Go to matrixbasements.com, and what you'll see is build now and pay later. You click on that, and you're going to find out 0 interest and 0 payments until the year 2028. That means that you could get your brand new basement or an addition to your current basement done, and you won't make a payment for 2 years. 0 interest, 0 payments with Matrix Basements. So while you're on the website, you click on the link, you'll get a free consultation. They'll come up with a design for you, and boom, before you know it, you'll be watching the NBA or the NHL playoffs in your brand new man cave. Build now, pay later, 0 interest, 0 payments until the year 2028. That means you don't have to wait for your dream space. You don't have any excuses. Go to matrixbasements.com right now. Build now, pay later, and enjoy your beautiful new basement sooner.
So before we get back to the phones, just real quick for people who have joined in. We're having a conversation, and I know if you just join it blindly, you're going to go, what the hell are these two doorknobs talking about? Obviously, free agency doesn't start till the 11th. We are going on what we have today, which is reporting by Dave Burkett, you're not going to be a player in free agency. And we saw Les Snead and the Rams with an all-in move yesterday. And you saw the Bears today. And again, if you think this is wildly speculative, fine. Then I don't know. Leave a 1-star review. But they traded DJ Moore, cleared cap, got a second-round pick, and their odds to get Crosby continue to become firmer and firmer and firmer. So we had a little fun, which was kind of getting jealous of the Bears. I mean, if they land Crosby, if they fix their center problem quickly, and again, according to reports, we're just going to move Tate Ratledge over, you start to ask some questions. Do I think Brad Holmes has done a good job primarily in drafting players? Yes. Has he had a rough couple of years? Yeah. But when we did yesterday's show, I said, look, my fear is you have a high-level scout, not a true killer GM. Now, you do learn on the job. But this is entering year 6. And it's a pivotal offseason. I don't know anyone who thinks you can have another conservative offseason and re-enter a Super Bowl conversation. I don't know those people, and I haven't heard them. My point to you is they've got till March 11th to restructure several deals. I'm praying that happens. I hope we can do that today at 5 or tomorrow before 6 because that's the only window into...
For heck, 5 o'clock on March 11th.
Okay.
Just make the deal. Right.
But no, we were talking about if Crosby ends up with the Bears and your thoughts on it. And look, that's an all-in move by the Bears. Mm-hmm. And yeah, they have needs. They have things to fix. But you don't see reporting on a lot of other teams talking the way it's being talked about with the Lions. So that's kind of been the topic. I want to get to a particular caller who I put on hold because I didn't want to see him get cut off because of David and his uncompromising ways about top of the hour. I want Robert to finish his call. Robert, the floor is yours, and thank you for your patience.
Yeah, thank you for having me back. No, so the main reason why I brought up like the Blake Griffin trade that at the time was a debacle, and now I think it would be great for the Pistons, it's because they're ready for the move. Like in 2021, the Lions were not ready for an all-in free agency type of thing. Now, if you get the $80 million, you're literally able to get a top-end DN to get after the quarterback, your center to protect the center, like the middle of the field, I mean, and you're able to get that number one type of corner to be able to help that defensive backfield that is extremely sketchy. And then you're able to fill out the roster with, low-end free agents, and then you're able to do what Brad Holmes loves to do and take the best player available, because then you've already gotten your needs taken care of, and then you can go straight talent.
Yes, and look, Robert, the only and it's a compliment that Brad Holmes was able to walk in the door and just hit on several high-end draft picks. The point you only get to start taking swings once you've established the floor. So I'm with you 1,000%. There's nothing left to do now, except you've got to go out and get the couple of high-end pieces that you're missing to get this thing back on track to winning a Super Bowl. So, again, and I'm not rooting against Dave Burkett. I like Dave. I hope Dave's dead wrong. I hope somebody fed him a collection of lies. He lies. I hope the whole thing's wrong. I hope we're here Monday. They have $80 million in cap space, and Brad starts free agency pantsless and just gets every good player. But I'm going on what we have today. Yeah. And you're hosting Jedrick Wills. It's like they haven't learned their lesson. Hey, you know what's better than Marcus Davenport? More Davenport. You know what's better than that? Offensive Davenport. Jedrick Wills is here on a free agent visit. He didn't play last year. But wait, there's more. Second prize is the steak knives. He only played 8 games the year before that and 5 games the year before that. This guy hasn't been a dependable player in 4 years. I don't care you were a top 10 pick a zillion years ago. That's like when these idiots hit the transfer portal. He was a 5-star recruit in 2019. It's 2026. You're not a 5-star anymore.
You're not.
You're on your 6th school.
As a matter of fact, they want you to return those stars.
Yeah, you're a no star.
Right.
You get my point.
Right.
So
Yeah,
it's just
those
like,
stars have expiration dates on them.
yes.
No, I'm with you. Yeah, but it's the Brad Holmes special. You're injured. Your project. I can fix you. It's like we're the home for wayward players. I can fix you. Come here.
Jesus. Okay. David, go ahead. What were you about to say? I'm sorry. No? David, I can't tell. You're a basket of emotion today. You're
I was
all over the place.
organizing over here.
Okay. Well, you're doing the whole Italian talking with hands thing, and I'm like, does he want to say? I don't know what was going on. Kenny's just blankly looking at us.
I just assume you understood what he was saying.
I could not translate. We'll go to Jeff, 97.1. Jeff, how you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you, Mike?
Good. What's on your mind?
Well, what if the scout is actually a vacuum cleaner salesman? Because that's what we're going to be dealing with soon. Because I'm really concerned, Mike. I'm really, really concerned and disturbed. Because the thing is you know what bothers me? Everything you're saying is spot on. But the other thing is you have to consider is I know we're not doing a rebuild here, but in order for him to build this team to even get to the NFC Championship, it won't be this year. It's going to be next year. And he's on his 6th year. So what are we supposed to do as fans? Because here's the thing that's distressing me, okay? Okay, I see the thing with Crosby, and everyone wants him, and so do I. But there are other free agents out there, like the guy on Kansas City, a great linebacker that we could use.
Oh, Leo Chenal. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, yes. He is a very decent linebacker, and we have to shore up our defense, too. So what are we doing? He's going to be selling popcorn in the stands.
Well, you got first of all, listen. I'm not going to go nuts here yet about individual players who are not available to be signed yet. If you stick to the reporting that says they are not going to be aggressive in free agency, that is a fair critique if you believe the reporting. I can't go crazy about, wow, how come they didn't? Because the guy's not available until March 11th. The premise that they won't be in on high-level players is the safe space. And look, Jeff, I mean, when we get towards free agency, we'll have a conversation. I'll give you a couple of people I'm interested in. Like, I wanted Jalen Phillips at the trade deadline. I'd love to bring him in free agency at $17 million a year. Do I have confidence they will? No. But I can just say, yes, I would love to do this. Of course.
Can I ask you one question?
Sure.
Can I ask you one question?
Yes.
Why does it seem like Brad, I have nothing but good things to say about Dan, but why does it seem like Brad is afraid to make free agency selections and stuff? Like, why? What's so hard about it?
Well, we revert back to, I mean, Jeff, we talked about it. I think when you go to free agency, you have to sign deals that are not nearly as team friendly. And free agency, I have never acted like it's this panacea where you just go out, buy expensive player, and it works. It is a minefield, all right? I think when you can't rely on free agency alone. Now, what New England did is rare, meaning last year they had over $100 million in cap space. The ownership, Robert Kraft, wrote $350 million in checks. They flipped the roster with guys like Milton Williams, and they make the Super Bowl. That's kind of an outlier. Generally, free agency or big trades, the trade market is always where I reside. I don't care if it's hoops, basketball, hockey, whatever it is. Trades, I can acquire a player on a better deal with more term, and I'm giving up things that, frankly, I don't care about. But the free agent market, Jeff, I think when you get into it and you look at their plan, it's draft, develop, sign, and be good long term. That's why I start to question if, and again, we're getting ahead of it a little, if this isn't an impactful offseason, then my only conclusion is the Super Bowl isn't the goal. It's be good. Get in the tournament, maybe get lucky.
It was funny. Jeff kept asking, can I ask you a question? I don't know why I started thinking he was going to ask you, did you kill Bill Walsh?
When did you meet Will Smith? But no, I look, I hope like hell we're doing a fun show at some point here in the next 10 days where they make a move, they make a trade, because I'm just
Because the time is now for this team.
to get it back on the rails. And look, the
Yes.
offensive line, it's going to require an all hands on deck situation to fix it. It is.
And that's why look, free agency and the draft, that's where your focus is this year. Yeah, I would like to improve the defense, but you know what, Dan? You're going to just have to outscore everybody this upcoming season.
Let's take it easy.
We'll figure it out the defense next year.
Yeah, but hold on. Defense has needs. Look,
It
everyone's
does.
focused, and I'm guilty. Like, if you ask me priority one, in order to get the value out of Gibbs, in order to support my quarterback, it is the offensive line.
Right.
But, Rico, the D-line has needs, and it's well beyond edge.
Mike, it has needs, but you can't fix everything all at once.
Well, not if you're not going to restructure the big three
because-
contracts.
No. So because all of your contracts are on the offensive side of the ball, we got to fix that first. The defense, sorry, outscore everybody.
But
Go
remember,
for it.
that, look, for long stretches last year, this offense was good. It just wasn't great against good teams. There's a way to balance this, but they must restructure. And again, if you can go read Dave Burkett today, guys, you don't believe me, they could easily create a war chest of cap space with Goff, ASB, Sewell, restructures. Yeah, you'll pay for it a day far away. I don't care. You're not on an endless conveyor belt of Super Bowl contention. So I don't know. Hey, you guys tell us what you think, okay? All right. You know what can make things a little better? New ride from Moran Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 selling Chevy dealer, 2 years in a row. They make car buying easy. GM employees and immediate family members, a 26 Equinox EV starting at $159 a month, or purchase it outright, $24,999. Power's what you're looking for. GM employees and immediate family members can also lease a 26 Silverado LT Crew Cab starting at $259 a month. It's very simple. Both $999 down. No games, no runaround, no BS. MoranExpress.com or stop by on Gratiot, just north of 15 Mile in Clinton Township. It's Moran Chevrolet, where you always get the best price, period. Chevrolet, together, let's drive. David, text communications, please. And we go back to the phones, rapping a little bit about, I admit it, Crosby to the Bears is going to bother me if it happens. And just kind of waiting. It's the quiet before you hope the storm. You hope the reporting's wrong and that the Lions need to kind of get in the mud a little bit, do some of the uncomfortable things. And that includes restructuring plural deals to fill. Look, I think this team does have a lot of needs. Their high-end talent sets a pretty high-end floor. But if you want to attain the ultimate prize, you just can't fix it all through the draft. Meaning, if you're not going to be aggressive in free agency, well, then I don't. And again, a trade is always my preferable thing. Always. Because the odds are that guy at 17 is not going to be as good as what I get for it. That doesn't mean an FDM pick strategy. It's very unique what the Rams have done. But for this moment,
you target a person. If you can get that person, you can have that first-round pick.
Correct. Has to be the right
I
player.
mean, it's what the Rams did. You know what? Rather than taking a corner at pick 13, we'll just go out and we'll get it from Kansas City. And he's a proven commodity.
And you know what you're getting.
Yep.
Exactly. David, text communications, please.
Bob and Shelby sends this text in that says, we were ready to throw a parade for Brad Holmes after his draft picks panned out from the Stafford trade. Since then, though, many of his moves or lack of reflects his lack of experience as a GM. It's now or never.
Well, it's also regression. There are numbers that you're never going to outrun. Again, if you're good at baseball, you're still going to fail 70% of the time. No one in the history of the sport outruns that by any measure. In football, you have all the data, you have all the information. You're still drafting lottery tickets. And Brad has hit a couple of big jackpots. He's also had a lot of whiffs. That's the job. I'm not holding that against him. All I'm saying is, if that's the only mechanism you're truly going to use to get better, well, you're putting yourself in a position where you've got to outrun historical data. It's no different than like the Pistons. Oh, you want to play this one-off weird brand of basketball where you don't take or make threes in an era where teams take 40, 50 a night? Cool. Well, your margin for error is now 0. Must force turnovers, must somehow get to the free throw line a zillion times because you're going to start the game minus 21 from deep.
Yeah, I was going to say you must overcompensate for the 15 points in the hole that you are, but you're going 21. But yes.
But my bad.
Right. You're going to have to, but you're going to have to do something to overcompensate for that deficiency.
David.
Chris and Troy says, if I have to watch 2 absolute game records be traded by teams within our division while I sit and we do nothing, I'm done with Brad Holmes. This hurts to say, but I cannot take this.
Let me ask you a question. Is the compromise the following? Jalen Phillips, $18 million a year. Not 30, not 35, not 40. Not Trey Hendrickson, not Crosby, not giving up a zillion draft picks. If they brought you, look, here's all I would need. I mean, you're going to laugh and go, that's it? If you went out and got the Bills center McGovern and you got Jalen Phillips as your 2 signature A-list free agents and seed in the rest and let Brad do what he does in the draft, I'd be good.
See, you just changed my answer because you were asking me about just Phillips because I was worried about the O-line. But you added McGovern as a center?
Right.
Yes.
Because what I can't do is just act like moving Tate Ratledge to center and he's going to be, what was he going to be, a top 5 player at the position? Like, that just doesn't feel authentic.
Let me ask you this question, and it fits right with what Brad likes to do. Would you be okay with McGovern and you bring in a guy like Joey Bosa?
No.
Who was healthy all last year.
Yeah, and what do he have, 4 sacks? I'm sorry.
No, but you don't. We always say, get Aiden some help for the other side.
I think he's a name. And look, he had, and I'm spitballing, I don't have it in front of me. I know he had good pressure stats, but I'd have to dig deeper into it. I would prefer a guy in his prime, pay the freight, get the player, and a guy who, once he got traded to Philly, was wildly productive. That's just me. I'd rather pay a little more and just get the guy.
Okay, I'm just saying.
I know.
A 1-year deal.
I can't
bring
wait
him in here.
Jedrick Wills is going to be sweet.
Well, I'm just saying.
He's actually going to come down the tunnel in an ambulance.
Yeah, because Bosa would cost you 1 year, $11.5 million.
How about you take him next to the power plant? Have him go play with his brother. They can both get hurt at the same time. Leave me alone.
So
that's a no.
That's a no.
Okay.
Just so you know, he had a 17.5% pressure rate in the first 9 weeks got a little banged up. It went down to 6.3 in the weeks of 10 through 13. So I don't know what that was.
It ends up
That's a
being
Brad
pressure
Holmes
rate.
player, baby.
It's 14, basically about 15% pressure
Right.
rate.
So it dropped during the injury, and it kind of pushed everything down.
14.6 to be exact. He had 5 sacks, 47 pressures.
I'm good.
Okay.
David.
I'm a little behind on the show today, boys, but I saw that Brad Holmes is bringing in wheels. Guys, I think I'm done if this happens, not hyperbole.
I mean, I'll say it again. 5 games played, 8 games played, no games played. The guy is a below average run blocker. What is attractive about anything I just said? And that's who's here on a visit. Okay.
Can I give you one more?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
And David, I'm setting myself
No,
up for
you're
the rake.
not. It's fine.
1-year deal cost you $12 million.
If you say Jadeveon Clowney, I'm leaving.
He had 8.5 sacks. He had a 19% pressure rate in 2025, which ranked 4th among all players with at least 200 pass rush snaps. Jadeveon Clowney.
I knew it. You've
1 year.
You've been boned up on this guy for 3 years.
See, that's why he kept reading the stats. He didn't want to give it a name.
Fine. You know what? I want a broker piece. Fine.
No.
And I'll buy you a jersey. Fine.
It's like Schroeder in the NBA. You know he's short term,
Yeah. Fine.
but for 1 year,
Yeah,
you
okay.
bring him here.
Fine. It's better than Bosa. I'll do it. Okay?
This isn't the South Carolina days anymore.
No, he's not tearing off Michigan running backs' heads.
Also, let's go to Mike, 97.1. Really? Mike, we have to do better than that. My God. Michael. Let's go to Martin, 97.1. Martin, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. How are you guys? Happy
Good, man.
almost Friday.
Yes, sir. What's on your mind?
This Brad Holmes thing, it's driving me nuts. The lack of movement, the lack of being aggressive, it drives me up a wall. And people have been calling in. I've been listening all day, and people have been calling and saying that why does it seem like he's scared? I don't think he's scared. I think it's arrogance. I think he genuinely just loves the smell of his own underpants.
Oh, dear.
And he can't understand why we don't like it too.
Well, let's
He shows us who he is. He shows us who he is. Calling into the morning show and talking about why do you think we need another Aiden? We have one. We don't need two. The receipt press conference after we made the NFC title game. He shows us who he is.
Well, and that you're right, and even his interview with Rich Eisen. Eisen framed it. Some people, like I always love when people do an interview. Why do you have to say some people? Just ask the question: Is your Super Bowl window closing?
You do that. So it's not me, but it's the people out there.
Yeah,
I'll be the conduit voice.
But the point is, even his answer to Eisen there, it was that same brand. You can call it arrogance, confidence, whatever you like. It just wears thin. That's all.
These are my guys, and I'm going to stick with my guys. And mark my words, put it on the board. As soon as Brian Branch can stand up out of the wheelchair that he's in, they're going to run to the altar with a record-breaking contract. And now Kirby Joseph will be the second highest paid safety in all of football.
Yeah, and look, this all changes quick, right? Like all summer we sat here, and I admit it. Like I'm not a team owner person. I don't like owners. I think pro sports is billionaire welfare. It's all a grift. But Martin, when people would call in screaming and yelling about Chris Ilitch this summer, what did I say? Guys, you can't spend like the Blue Jays. Like that's a false premise. But the narrative shifted when we met in the middle. And he did okay, Framber Valdez. He okayed Justin Verlander. They now have a payroll in the top 12. In order to talk differently, you gotta act differently. So I'm hoping we get to do different shows here. But like we're here today. And unless you want me to pull a John 100%. And just say, hey, let it play out. I'll talk to you in 4 months. That's not what we do. I want it to be different. I hope it's different. And different can start as soon as March 11th. I need to see those restructurings done. Because then if you create X amount of cap space, 50, 60, $80 million, those are real numbers. Then that's a window into what comes next. But if they just do Goff, oh boy.
Followed by, Here's Gibbs. Resign.
97.1. When it comes to an IRS collection or audit, Abraham and Rose has successfully specialized in resolving all types of problems for 30 years. Their extensive experience means when you're facing an IRS collection or audit, you can rely on them. And 30 years of experience, it is priceless. Maurice and Jerry, they're your go-to. They are ready to evaluate any underlying federal or state income taxes or payroll taxes. Just visit abrahamandrose.com or call 248-539-5040 so you never have to deal with the IRS again. It's Abraham and Rose. And I want to say for the record, Rico was giggling like a schoolgirl as you hit the button. You have something to tell us?
You know what? We'll start with that. I was going to end with it, but let's just start with it. Our friend Max Crosby. The original question is, will he even get traded, or will the Raiders kind of do a Raiders type of thing, tease everybody, but in the end, they work out something for at least another year with Max Crosby. But I updated the Vegas odds. The Bears are now minus 150. Is this pretty much he's going to the Bears, or no? And the Cowboys have the second best at plus 225. The Raiders are third.
As we sit here today, I would say yes, because the DJ Moore deal has financial ramifications that assist the Bears, as well as receiving a second-round draft pick to grease the skids. Now, they still have to move Tremaine Edmonds. Week ago, they said you can go seek a trade. They'll either cut him or trade him. They'll have more than enough to acquire Crosby. They have the picks. It seems like, feels like, sounds like Crosby will be a Bear as we just sit here today.
But it just somehow or another,
it never happened.
Is he going to end up back with the Raiders?
I don't see it. And then the articles have already come out that Max Crosby can't stand Tom Brady's little vitamin friend, Alex Guerrero, and how Guerrero's presence has really soured him on the Raiders.
Gotcha.
Just throwing that out there.
David?
The Dallas Cowboys are the interesting name to me that have seemed to pop up.
Yeah, plus 225.
Half a day here.
Yeah.
But I still think he's going to Chicago. I think that's happening.
Okay. Does look like Chicago's cleaning house. Since we brought up his name, DJ Moore to the Bills. Is this the move that the Bills needed to make?
No. I actually think it's quite stupid. The only redeeming quality would be Joe Brady was DJ Moore's OC in Carolina. I don't understand taking a receiver $25 million a year this deep into his career. I mean, I get it. Like, you're desperate for weapons, but to give up a second-round pick while you're taking on all of that cap, he signed a 4-year, $100-and-something million deal. Mm-hmm. If I'm going to take that player off your hands, I'm not giving you a second-round pick. But, look.
It should be the other way around. You were giving me an extra pick.
I just think the Bills kind of got taken advantage of.
Yeah, on surface, and things could change. Maybe they've restructured the deal somehow, and we'll know this by Wednesday. But right now, doesn't look good because I don't think he's a number one. So you have Shakir who's not a number one. You have DJ Moore who's not a number one. They still need a number one.
Yeah, that's very well said. And that doesn't mean I'm running to the altar with A.J. Brown either. But I didn't love this move. And for the Bears, let's be clear. Colston Loveland had kind of moved ahead of DJ Moore. Luther Burden's going to be a superstar. Hell, even Rico's guy, Roma Dunes. They have the weapons they need. Why am I paying this cat $25 million a year?
True. Speaking of wide receivers, DJ Moore going to the Bills. What does this do for the market for A.J. Brown?
I don't know what the market is. Aging, expensive, attitude. I don't know. I know that's not a great answer for sports radio, and I don't have a soliloquy to go on.
Because I thought the Bills were going to be like the team for him to go to, and now they don't need him.
I mean, again, the money would be a huge issue. Your team makes a lot of sense. Baltimore makes a lot of sense. There's a need, like Zay Flowers is a prime example. I love Zay Flowers, but he's not a lead dog. You need the physical profile, the inside the 20-yard line, 50-50 ball, red zone guy, that prototype receiver. I think the Niners need the same thing largely, especially with Kittle being gone. Right. So, but that's me just throwing out situations. I don't want to give up a lot of picks and stuff and take on an expensive player who might be reading Shakespeare on the sidelines when he's not happy.
See, and that's the thing. Some insiders speculated that now that DJ Moore gets a second, does A.J. Brown get a first? Well, why would you want to do that with the money that you still have to pay him? And then on the Eagles side, they trade him before June 1st, which is what they'll do to get draft picks. $43.5 million will be the dead cap hit. So then on either side, it's like, do I want the contract? No. Do I want the dead money? Probably no, but then I don't want the player. So it's weird.
What's more valuable? You're the Cincinnati Bengals now. Snow being removed or the fine?
It's pretty terrible.
Let's stick with wide receivers. What is the value, if any, for Stephon Diggs?
For me, zero. He's a nutcase. He also can't keep it in his pants, so you're guaranteed another child out of wedlock in the news while he plays for your team. I'm out. I want nothing to do with him. And I think the Patriots saw everything they needed to see. See you later. I'd say nothing. You can give him to me for free. I wouldn't have him in my locker room.
Yeah, there's a reason why he's been on so many teams. He was with Houston, and they were successful.
Breaking news here at the 97.1 compound. Steph Diggs has just gotten someone pregnant.
Okay. I guess I'm thinking, is this one where he could go to a coach and a coach could rehab him or or a system or
It's
a
called
team?
a doctor and a vasectomy.
Okay.
That's actually Steph Diggs at the opening press conference.
What are your thoughts on this season?
Welcome to New Orleans, Steph Diggs. All right. Questions, please.
Okay. I'm regretting asking that one. Best option for Kenneth Walker III. Kansas City Chiefs, Jacksonville Jaguars, Denver Broncos.
I might surprise you with this one. Probably the Jags. Liam Cohen showed a lot. Not only with Trevor Lawrence's performance, but really launching that Bayshon Tootin, ATN kind of combo meal. I'd say there. The Chiefs thing, it's any offensive player you go, oh, he's great with Andy Reid. The Broncos one, I'm sorry. I'm not a Bo Nix person. So I'll just say that I think the Jags are super interesting there.
Okay.
But keep an eye out on the Giants. Not that it's the best landing spot. The obsession connecting the Giants to K9. It's not me doing it.
I'm going to go with the Broncos. I like that with Bo Nix and the passing weapons that they have, along with the defense that they have. It just feels like Seattle-like. He can just go there, have the run game, do what they need to do, don't turn the ball over, help your offense, and then your defense will win you a Super Bowl. That's what it feels like.
From NFC to AFC West. Okay, gotcha. All right. That's your NFL Blitz 97.1. Lions
have.
news?
All I know is Lumberjack Jesus over there told me to hit the breaking news thing. Go ahead, Kenny. Well, you want a double? There you go. What do you got to say?
So this is per Elliot Friedman, one of the most plugged-in hockey reporters. That's him, Detroit, from the horse's mouth. He was on Sportsnet, which is basically Canada's ESPN.
TSN.
That's right. The one team that I'm still waiting to see exactly what happens is, yes, I think they've been in on Oliver Ekman-Larsson and Robert Thomas. I get mixed reports about Elias Pettersson also. Detroit has made the headline.
All right, so unpack it. They're making calls. It's diligence. But what is the one thing Yzerman has yet to show in 7 years? He's not going to do bidding wars.
Right. And
he's not going to go to war. He wants deals his way. He thinks it's Burger King. So take me through the three players, including the lead singer of Matchbox 20.
So Oliver Ekman-Larsson, he would be a depth defenseman for you, but he would fill a need. Playoff experience would be really helpful on the back end. He knows what he's doing. He can kind of muck it up a little bit too. I mean, we know about Robert Thomas. We've talked about him ad nauseum. The one guy that I'm actually interested in more is Elias Pettersson, because he's one of these guys that's in a bad situation in Vancouver.
But he also might be a penis.
He might.
So
be.
which is he a bad guy, or is it a bad situation, or is it both?
Those are the two options. It may be both.
No, Rico, they talk about this guy like he's Satan, and then other people will tell you he's misunderstood. It's a terrible situation. I don't know what's real. I know when he's on his game, he can be a 100-point guy. Fair?
Right. One of those two things is true. He's in a terrible situation, but he does have that flash, and he has done it before. So you wonder if taking him out of that bad situation, putting him on a team that's actually serious about playoffs, should they actually go out and start making these types of moves and be serious about the playoffs?
Well, and the only reason he's available would be on the flow chart.
He's a bad person.
Right, but potentially.
Entirely possible. I wouldn't rule that out, by the way. I'm not saying he's going to be, a model citizen for this team, but there is a lot of upside that he could be looking at.
No Ristolainen, huh?
No Ristolainen yet. I haven't seen our names linked with him, although, I mean, that's my dream sequence, him and Robert Thomas.
Well, listen, appreciate the update. We're, 22 hours away?
Yeah, 3 o'clock tomorrow.
We'll see. We talked about the Wings for an hour to start the show. We can get there. I want to mix this in. We did a lot of Lions, talked about the Wings. I want to ask a question.
Okay.
Because I don't do this with regular season games, specifically in this dog water league known as the NBA. I'm asking the question to you. Do we have a big game alert tonight? Like the last 10 days or so, the Pistons haven't played good basketball. Well, they beat the Thunder. No, they beat the janitors of the Thunder, and they only had a 3-point lead in the fourth. They beat the Cavs.
No SGA or his fur coat.
No one. The Friday night against the Cavs, no Harden, no Spider Mitchell. And then, look, they lost the other night in Cleveland. I didn't like the effort. I didn't like the way they played. So the Spurs were this healthy team, and they beat you. Well, now you get a crack at them tonight. I don't want to say it's a big game because you're the 1 seed in the East. I don't think you're going to lose that lead. I know Tatum's back for Boston, but we have no idea what that looks like.
No. I do think it's a big game. It's not
big game.
No. It's not a referendum game. It's not potential play. It is a big game because whenever you go up against a team with the same amount of talent as you, it's a measuring stick. You kind of see, okay, where are we compared to this team? If you lose, life's going to go on. You're still going to be the best team in the East. But it is a big game because, the last time you played them, you didn't win. San Antonio looks like they're going to have, their full complement of players out there. So I do think it is a big game. And by big game, it's a game you're looking forward to watching. It's not just, you versus a G League team.
Well, here, and this is what's really interesting. There's the last 10 days, things have kind of shifted. And I'm not using this as gospel. This is just for fun. But the odds to win the East, and I want to be very forward about this. I openly disagree with this, but like FanDuel, with the news that Tatum is back, the Celtics are the favorite in the East. I disagree with that. We don't know what he's going to look like. We don't know what impact that'll have on the rotation. I'm not comfortable saying that. But the Celtics are plus 230. The Cavs are plus 270. The Knicks are plus 440, and the Pistons are plus 450. The Pistons have the fourth best odds. Now, again, I can have vehement disagreements. For instance, I will not select the Knicks to beat this team in a playoff series. I think the Pistons have a different mode. They do some kind of Marvel comic book thing when they play the Knicks, and they go belt to ass. My point is the Pistons, there's been a little bit of a slide here the last 10 days. And look, they're not playing good basketball, even against shorthanded teams. So maybe you're right is that tonight there's no excuse not to bring your A-plus effort. Mm-hmm. San Antonio, presumably everybody except Harrison Barnes, who, again, bench player but plays 27 minutes a night. Everyone's there. They just beat you. And I think, and I heard Doug say this, and it takes a lot for Doug to critique local teams. Doug is a very nice human. But Doug even said it. They had their manhood challenged by the Cavaliers after that Friday night. They didn't respond. Mm-hmm. Now, tonight, maybe you're right, it's infinitely watchable. We crave this because the NBA just doesn't give it to us. But I do wonder is, like, do you need them to win tonight? I'm asking.
No. I don't need them to win tonight, Mike. It would be nice if they did. What you don't need, and maybe I'm just lowering the bar, I don't need you to get blown out. You go out there and you lose a game on a last-second shot or a free throw, or they hit a three-pointer at the buzzer. Okay, you know what? This will be a good series if you play. You go out there and they outscore you, again, 33 points from the three-point line, and you're down by 10 points. Yeah, that's problematic because that's just showing us what we all know. Yeah, you can't hit the three.
But, I mean, it is look, I mean, it's a Thursday.
But it would be nice
It's
if
a
they
Thursday
did win.
night.
Yeah.
It's must-see TV. Like, I'm excited to watch it because these are unicorn games in this stupid league.
And that's why
where both teams actually try.
It's a big game because of just that. For once, you kind of get a game you're looking forward to watching because both teams appear to be trying. And we've lowered the bar there.
I didn't. That's Adam Silver's
not
problem.
you, right. But it's like, yeah, this is a team where, yeah, you know what? You could dream and say maybe this is the NBA Finals matchup between these two teams.
Yeah, and look, specifically, can the Pistons they're never going to be a high-volume or great three-point shooting team. You can't be shooting 30%. You can't be basically, since the trade deadline, the worst three-point shooting team in the league. Can't happen. On the flip side, you also can't keep allowing your opponent to make 14, 15, 16, 18 threes. I want to see that too. Look, we all know between Castle and Vassell, like they're gonna give Cade hell tonight. What's the response in the game plan? And who's gonna step up and help Cade? There's gonna be nights in the playoffs that the opposing team will just say anyone but him, ABC, anyone but Cade. So, like, those little things I want to watch.
But it is a big game. It's just like whenever they played the Knicks it was a big game. Okay, because that's a potential team you could see later on.
Big game.
Let me see how you play. You went out there and you won. It's why you have confidence that if they see you getting in the playoffs, you're going to beat them. You got them sweeping the Knicks.
248-539-9797. All right, David, talk to me.
I hate to disagree with you, Rico, but I disagree with you. It is not a big game.
Okay.
It's an important game for the Pistons to show that they can be better than what they have been the last 5 days, the last 5 games. But it's not a big game at all because nothing's going to change with a result. Whether you lose or you win. For San Antonio, whether you lose or you win, nothing changes.
But
so
David,
it's not big.
But David, it's a big game because it's an anticipated matchup. You look at you see it in all sports where you're not going to win a title. You're not going to cut down the nets. You're not going to hoist a trophy. But if in the regular season, Kansas City's playing Buffalo, you know what? That's a big game. You want to watch it. Duke, North Carolina, you want to watch that game.
You know why those games are important? Because they can face each other in tournaments or in the playoffs.
Same here.
I don't see that happening here. And that's probably what has changed for me with the Pistons is I don't think they make it out the second round. So this doesn't make it a big game anymore because I don't even see a chance they face each other in the finals.
I get where you're coming from. I understand a little more, but it's just like, yeah, in the regular season, there are times where there are two good teams, everything aligns up. And I look at a big game as this. Would I watch this game if the team that I didn't like weren't in it? Like if it was just two random independent teams, I would. I would watch this. I want to see this type of game. So therefore, big game.
People, what do you say? Look, I think it would be good for everybody's confidence level. We did a show the other day, and a vast majority of fans said they're out in the second round of the Cavs versus they're going to the finals. I think this would be a good bounce-back spot. Because honestly, I mean, you're lucky you had a couple of free squares in the midst of this recent schedule, or the only win you would have would be against Orlando. Just be real about it. Yeah, I'd like to see them play really well. And look, if they lose a close game in San Antonio and it's back and forth, decided in the last 4 minutes, I'm not going to slander them.
Entertaining, okay, hey, we all knew you had some deficiencies, but you represent it.
I'm just glad it's watchable. Like you get the players I want to watch are playing. Nice league, Adam.
But you're saying, David, unless you don't see them, like to me, once again, different sport. When Duke played Michigan, didn't care about either team.
That could be a Final Four matchup.
That was a big game.
Yeah.
I wanted to watch it. It was entertaining. I think you'll get the same tonight.
248-539-9797. We'll get with the people, get a few text communications. And again, we talked about the Lions a lot. Bears made a big trade today. Does it clear the way for Crosby? And we talked about the Wings. Kenny gave you the update at 5 o'clock. Tomorrow, it is what it is. By 3 o'clock, we know if Steve delivered or not. And that's going to be I would assume, a big point of conversation. March is here. College basketball is about to take over the living room. So if you're hosting friends and watching every game, quad box, Paulson's Audio Video, Farmington Hills. It's simple. Not only do they sell the best products, both indoor and outdoor, whether it's landscape audio, patio TVs, indoor upgrades, you name it, they also design it and build it. And it's with their people. They don't outsource any of the work. They have a service department long after the job is done as well. Bottom line, Paulson's, it's why they've been best in class for 30 years. It's paulsonsav.com. That's paulsonsav.com. New season, new projects. It's Paulson's. David, Text Communications, just having a little fun. I mean, I'm excited. Pistons game is full tilt tonight, and you get to see them against a good team. And, yeah, I'd like to see them bring a little more intensity, play a little better. And again, we have to monitor the three-point shooting thing. They are not a good three-point shooting team, but it's largely been morbid. And I think more concerning, obviously, the other teams are taking threes in such volume. I can't ask you to not get outshot from three. But you can't give up 7, 8, 9 more made threes and generally expect to win games. Like that Orlando game is an outlier. You cannot what was it against Cleveland the other night? You were minus 24 from deep. It's mathematics. So yeah, I mean, David, talk to me. What are people saying? Minimum, you're watching. If you don't think it's a big game, no problem. I had to ask the question.
Someone says, big game, MF. He means my friend. Clearly, he's talking to me.
Yeah, I mean, because if this ain't a big game, then you just don't have any in the NBA anymore.
Someone says, yes, it is clearly a big game. Two teams that could make it deep in a playoff run. So, yes, it is a big game. Derek in Brighton says, wow, David, I never thought I'd call you a Debbie Downer. Not a big game. This is a great game tonight. Two of the two best teams in the NBA, possibly your NBA championship.
And then for commercial break entertainment, 9 o'clock on ESPN, you could see Matthew Schaefer, Islanders Kings. Just throwing that out there for everybody. A little commercial break. You see the best 18-year-old in the league. Argue with Kenny. The kid's a superstar. Wow. That's not nice. That is terrible.
He's a superstar. I'm just very bitter about the whole situation.
Oh, okay.
Hey, it's okay, man.
Superstar.
You got Philip Sedina back in the day. This is my time.
You will fill your net with pucks.
I will make them all pay. Where? Greensboro? You're
Europe.
terrible. All right, go ahead. Sorry, David.
This is a finals preview. So, yes, big game. That is Nelson in Novi.
I love how Oklahoma City has been thrown in a trash bin.
Well, they didn't have their starters, so I guess that's why people are saying that. Yeah, let's make the three-point thing a thing. When they have the best record in the East by 6 games, I am not worried about that at all.
No, you wouldn't be. You're a low-rent jackass. See, this is the problem I have. The Tigers had the best record in baseball for a time last year. Were they the best team?
No.
Second of all, the Eastern Conference is poop. You try every night. That's the weapon in the regular season. I'm not making the three-point thing a thing. It's already a thing, dope. The league has made it a thing. Please do not project your insecurities about your basketball team on me. The NBA has gone analytics. Take and make threes at a clip that your opponent can't handle. You are factually bottom 5 in the league in every three-point shooting category. It is how you're going to lose.
28th in three-pointers made.
Guys, how do you go through life like that? I'm being serious. How do you act like you're a fan that has a brain when you just get angry at facts?
No, because
That's so bizarre to me.
You see the team is winning, and it's just like, okay, yes, they can't shoot threes, but they're winning. Can you at least acknowledge they got the best record? And it's like, you can. It's not sustainable.
Not in the playoffs look, the regular season. For instance, look at the last 10 days as a prime example. You going to play a bunch of teams in the playoffs that aren't playing their best players? What you do in November against the Bucks is meaningless. There is a roadmap to winning in the NBA today. I'm not telling you that I even love the roadmap, but I accept it. I mean, I cannot fathom being a fan, and that's my approach. Because you live in la-la land. But I'm sure there are plenty of people that'll just scream, we the best. Go listen to them. But I'm bringing you data. I'm sorry that offends you. Here's another sad thing that should upset you. You're going to die at some point. I know, it's terrible. You're not going to be here forever. What do you want me to...
the life insurance commercial.
No, but my point is, the data's the data. Yes. Taxes are data.
Yeah.
Death is data.
But
my God.
People get angry, Mike. It's because, look, can't you just be happy? We're the best team in the East. We have this.
Because Vegas says you're 4th.
Right, but the record says we are.
Cool. Let's see how it plays out. The point I'm making is you have to close this gap from three-point land because it's math. The only way you function in that scenario, as I've outlined, you must force tons of turnovers, convert off of those.
Oh, no.
And then dominate the other team at the free throw line.
I'm with you because we've seen it twice now where it was the Tigers first to 20, first to 30. Like it was,
Correct.
They put it out there. And even I remember getting vilified when the Lions were 15-2. I'm like, hey, you know what? You better be careful about this Commanders team. No. We're not only going to beat, they were talking about we want to beat Philly and what we got for Saquon. I'm like, okay, same here. You're a good team. You've won a lot of games. But eventually, in a 7-game series, the lack of three-point shooting will come back to hurt you.
The other thing that hurts you as well is you are asking Cade to do everything, every minute, every game. And it's going to be really hard to do in a 7-game set against the upper crust. I have no problem telling you if you play the Knicks, you're going to beat them because I think the Knicks are soft. Now, look, Buzz City, I made fun of you yesterday. Basketball gods were smiling. They took the Celtics and threw them off a bridge. And I laughed because I go, oh, it's Rico's Hornets. But in all seriousness, it really comes down to just Cleveland, and it comes down to the Celtics potentially if Tatum's right.
But think about this. In a 7-game series, it's about adjustments. If the opposing team knows we don't have to make adjustments and chase you off the three-point line, that's one less thing we got to worry about. Because, okay, you're doing this. All right, we're going to counteract that with this. But if you can't hit threes, you know what? Just let them chuck up some threes. We'll win.
I guess I just want to have a deeper conversation with people, and it drives me insane.
Buzz City.
Oh, dude, they were. Hey, how about this? Do you realize since Christmas, I owed you this data? Oh, I'm sorry. Here's the data. Since Christmas, do you realize the Hornets are number 1 on offense, number 3 in defense, and number 1 in the net rating? Mm-hmm. And they have
their record is like
22-10.
Wow. That's why I said you can beat them, but they're going to take a lot out of you in that series.
I'm sorry. Okay, David, continue, please.
Doesn't matter. Meaningless regular season game against a non-conference opponent. I'm not too excited about this game tonight.
Damn, man, just on a watchability level?
I'm watching the game.
It's not a referendum. Now, if they got garbage can tonight, that's different.
Even if you get garbage can, okay, I'll chalk it up to a bad night. It's not a referendum, but it is a game that you're looking forward to, so therefore it is a big game. You don't get that many in the NBA anymore. It used to be every Sunday.
That's my problem.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm elevating it to a place it shouldn't be because there's so few games that you want to actually.
No, but I think it is. You have it hits the checklist. You got stars playing in there. You got good teams, playoff caliber teams. Yeah, it's a big game.
Someone says, jump on board, Kenny. Matty Schaefer is a stud. That is Jeff in a car.
I mean,
He's a stud.
Kenny, you got the Pistons at 8. Little commercial break entertainment, and hockey's not on the cooking channel. It's on ESPN.
It's just going to make me sad because Steve might not do anything. And I'm just
It's coming on after 2 British ladies cooking show or whatever it is. It's going to be amazing.
Oh.
Islanders Kings at 9. Little Matty Schaefer.
Is it on NHL Versus?
Hey, listen,
Fishing
Schaefer's
channel.
good, but he's no ASP.
That's right.
By the way, I will say this. While, yes, be watching the Pistons, it does suck that all 3 basketball teams are playing at the same time tonight.
What do you mean?
Michigan State at 8, Michigan at 8,
Dave.
Pistons at 8.
Dave.
No,
Dave,
okay,
Dave,
hold on,
I'm going to watch
stop.
all 3.
No,
Only one of
Dave,
these games counts tonight now.
Dave.
Come on.
Once again, he's already written off anything college hoops, but I'm with you. All 3 games are, if you like basketball, you're flipping back and
That's
forth.
it.
Now, I know, and in his world, first world problems, he's mad. Well, when is my Peacock? And I got to leave and go to the app. Well.
Go ahead.
If you're not watching this game, then just say you don't care about anything until the playoffs. Just wait till April and check in. That is James in Rochester.
Yeah, I'm excited for the game.
Yeah, because you're not getting, the Spurs won't be without 4 of their starting 5. And
Right, exactly. It's just this is what it's
The
supposed to
OKC
be.
game all of a sudden went from big game to it's just a game.
And then how dare you give love to anyone but the Pistons because you get this. Best in the NBA, the Pistons are 20-7 since January 1st. Save your Hornets love.
It was since Christmas, and it's not Hornets love. It was just a stat.
You just can't give stats to anybody but Detroit teams, apparently.
Okay,
I
did
really
you not
I-
understand from earlier today we became Chicago radio?
Okay, I really wish the best for you in life, Texter. And yeah,
We're going to go out and get a hot dog with a salad on top of it right after the show.
why? Because we talked about what a division rival's doing.
And pizza casserole.
Well, their pizza sucks. I mean, it's.
I'm just saying, we're
ridiculous.
Chicago radio.
People, man, these people.
We talked to Lions fans all day. What am I missing? Did I miss a joke?
Oh,
Yes.
people were texting in saying you're loving on the Bears.
Because
How
we
dare
love-
you to
we
do
gave the
Chicago
Bears-
radio? Yeah.
We gave the Bears too much credit. Are we jealous of the Bears? So we were doing Chicago radio.
Okay.
So that's why I said after the show, let's go get a hot dog with a salad on top.
Those things are so gross. They really are.
Yes,
They
that's
are.
the joke.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know, man. We're living in strange times.
And now we're
You know what? Maybe we'll just show up tomorrow and we'll do Are You Gonna Eat That? And we'll ask Kenny about his night.
Hey,
And
David, we're doing
we're
Charlotte
going to talk
radio.
about how the Wings just traded for Theo Fleury in his prime. And he's a little undersized, but he's going to add some serious scoring punch. And yeah, we're going to win the Stanley
You
Cup.
got Alex McGillney on
No.
the way. Come on.
Hot, number 89.
We're going to finish up with Charlotte radio. We're going to break down North Carolina Duke this Friday at 6 o'clock.
Miroslav Shatan, 445. Kevin Allen breaking down the trade deadline at 5. All right, 97.1. The hell do you
So,
need from me?
Let's start here with Kyler Murray. Reports indicate that the Colts, because they're locked in on keeping Daniel Jones, the Vikings are shifting their attention to Kyler Murray.
Here, I'll take the smoke.
Now, before you go, because here's the significant part, is that because he was released and a veteran, he can sign for the veteran minimum at $1.3 million.
Okay. Now,
That changes things.
I'd still be shocked, but let's just go under that premise. I like it because they needed insurance for McCarthy. Any real insurance, like a Mac Jones, has to be a trade. A Malik Willis, you're hearing anywhere around $25 million. I just believe Kevin O'Connell could teach a shoe to play quarterback. JJ might just be an especially bad shoe.
And if you're JJ, not JJ, but if you're Kyler Murray, you go there and let's just say you sign for $5 million right off the front, and you do well, 1-year deal.
You get a deal.
You could either they'll Sam Darnold you and they'll realize, hey, we let go Sam Darnold. We're not going to let this guy go. Or you go someplace else and you kind of rehab your career.
I like it because what other options do they have? If we're being totally sincere about it, this is a bad quarterback draft, and we just talked about cap ramifications. So, yeah, I think O'Connell's a genius.
Hold
Sure.
on, but it's funny. Okay, so Kyler Murray gone from Arizona. Do you know who one of the leading candidates are to replace him in Arizona?
Don't say Tua, please.
No. This is a name we haven't really spoke about for a while.
Just say it. I'm all ears.
Jimmy G. From Rams backup to quarterback again. That the Arizona Cardinals are looking at Jimmy Garoppolo.
Come on, man.
Well, but here's what you got to think
Can't they
about.
just go sign Jake Plummer and kick it old school?
No,
Good heavens.
No, if you really think about it, it's smart for what the Cardinals and the Jets are going to do. You just bite the bullet. This is your gap year. You're setting yourself up. Look, if
You
all of a
turn into
sudden-
the Utah Jazz.
Yeah, you
Okay.
overachieve and you win, maybe you struck gold. But if not, you're lining up for next year's quarterback class. But yes,
You're
Jimmy
right.
G
Oh, my
could
God.
be the starting QB for the Cardinals.
Sweet mercy. David.
Let's go over to Atlanta because Atlanta, as we know, don't have a lot of draft picks this year. They traded their first round pick to the Rams. So the GM says we will never have 5 draft picks again. We have to do better, basically. So the thought is Kyle Pitts will be traded. They did franchise tag him. What can you get for Kyle Pitts? DJ Moore got a second. Can you get a second?
I am the wrong person to ask because I don't like Kyle Pitts. I hate him. I think he's a mutt. So leave me out of this, and I'm just going to allow Rico to my answer would be a bowl of dog food. I wouldn't give up anything for him. I don't like him.
David, I think because he was franchise tagged, and I don't know what the number is for tight ends. Is it like 17 million for a tight end?
15.
Okay.
Oh my God.
You probably could get a low end first round. That's best case scenario
For Pitts?
I said best case low end.
If the other guy was loaded on cocaine, maybe.
I thought you opted out of
I'm
this.
sorry. I'm opting out again.
Okay.
My bad.
Low end, like the low 20s, or you're probably looking at a second round selection for him. That's what I'm thinking you can get.
I opted out. I have
I
no
want to hear your
opinion.
thoughts.
A 5th round pick. Nothing. Does no blocking, inconsistent hands. I don't like him.
I think that he was just part of the wrong system.
Okay. What's that? One that plays football?
I mean, what's been Atlanta is the only team that I know that had a ton of stars and decided we're not going to use any of them.
Hey, Drake London has had his moments, and have you seen Bijan run?
Right. But until you get to the goal line, let's take Bijan out the game.
Tyler
Tell me
Algier.
I'm wrong.
No, they just had their version of Tommy Vardell. It was Tyler Algier.
That team, David, they just do dumb things with their star
Hey, they got new
players.
uniforms coming April 2nd.
They sure do.
I got nothing else, man.
So that's why I said probably a second round pick for him. But if you're a team with like the pick 28
If Kyle
or
Pitts ends
29,
up on the Giants, can I have a day off, please?
No.
Okay. David, more rumors.
This is the first and only petty I will do all day.
Okay.
We've been talking about Max Crosby and the possibility he goes to the Bears. Do you know where Lane Johnson plays in the NFL?
Yeah, right tackle for the Eagles.
And
That
he
is
just came
correct.
back. Yeah.
He went out and tweeted about an hour ago of the eye emojis and then tweeting to Max Crosby. To the Eagles, possibly?
Let me interpret that for you, Mike, since you're not on the social media.
Yeah.
The eye emojis is, oh my goodness, watch out for this. This could be happening. It's happening, folks. And yeah, if you're tweeting at him, that means that maybe you overheard a conversation down the hall of saying, hey, Lane, we're going to go all in for Max. And he just couldn't keep it quiet. He just thought he'd be very subtle about it. And nobody on social media
would
pay
convince
attention.
me that Howie Roseman is not mortal. He is some form of immortal spiritual witch. I don't even know how it would happen. I don't even want to think about it. Please. I've just arrived at a point where the Eagles might not be
You know what?
awesome.
Well,
Can I just live in that world for 10 minutes?
They got the 7th tie for the 6th best odds for Max Crosby.
You didn't hear what I said. Can I have 10 minutes in a decade where the Eagles don't kick the Giants in the face twice a year?
Because
Please.
you'll have Kyle Pitts.
I'd rather have Mama Cass
You'll have
than Kyle Pitts.
You'll have Kyle Pitts and K9. There you go. Your offense will be awesome.
Phenomenal. $30 million and 2 trinkets. Okay, David.
Let's move on to the Kansas City Chiefs because they are
So bad.
looking for a running back. And of course,
Jeremiah
they
Love.
cannot get, well,
Let
it
him
starts with
finish.
that, but they believe that they won't get Jeremiah Love, that he won't fall to them.
Okay.
So they top off the market will be Kenneth Walker. Can't get him. They want to spend $8 million per year, according to reports.
I know who.
Rico Dowdell.
Oh, I thought it was going
I've
to be
seen
ETN.
contract predictions around 2 years,
Good with it.
$14 million.
I'm good with it because of what you just said right there. $7 million a year, 2 years. The dude plays with a huge chip on his shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he performed on what is a mediocre team in Carolina. He didn't have all the trinkets and the fun.
Became a
Yes.
star in a fill-in role at Carolina. Shout out for me picking him up in fantasy land. Yes, I thought you were going to say Travis Etienne. I was like, okay, I could see him going there as well to Kansas City. Same kind of a deal where you're not going to break the bank, but you're signing for maybe a 2-year deal, 3rd-year option for the team option. But no, I can see that, David.
Now let's move on to an older NFL player, and that name is Mike Evans.
Uh-oh.
Report says it is still early, but Houston and Kansas City don't seem to be on the radar for Evans. But they have teams like the Bills, Chargers, Niners, and Commanders, and the Giants on the list for Mike Evans. What do you think the price is for him?
I don't.
So K9.
For $14 million and a body cast. I don't care. Oh, what is this? The whole segment to just troll me?
No. I didn't even mention the Giants. You did on the other one.
Okay, here's the thing, Mike. Your team is fun to watch.
Oh, are
it's
they?
up and coming.
They've won
Yes.
7 football games in 2 years. Fun?
Right. No,
Fun?
but they're entertaining. They are.
If you think that's fun, wait a year. I'll show you real fun. Go stand outside. I'm going to hit you with my car. What are you, out of your mind?
They're entertaining. You got young players. Scatterboo. Even your backup QB is fun
All
to
right.
watch.
Mike
David.
Evans, I think it's got to be a 1-year deal. That's all I would tell you.
Yeah, I was about to say probably 1 year, $12 million, I'm thinking.
And then I'll close it out with this because I found this laughable. We all know what the Tua contract looks like. Dolphins want to move on. One high-ranking team executive told CBS they considered taking on Tua, but they would have to get a first-round pick from the Dolphins to do it. Tua's stuck. They're going to just release him, and he'll be nowhere else.
Yeah, I think it will boil down to the fact that the Dolphins will just have to admit we made a mistake and we're going to move on. We're not going to look backwards. And, yeah, because you'd be ridiculous to give away a first-round pick and give away your quarterback and still have to pay. Yeah, just bite the bullet. And here's the thing. Release him, be bad, get one of the quarterbacks next year under a rookie scale, and it'll eventually balance itself out.
Yeah, $99 million dead cap. Here.
And look, there was a time a few short years ago you thought, okay, this is, man, they're cooking. Now the way he played last year, lacking in confidence, not seeing, he was seeing ghosts.
I was about to say it's the concussion problem for me that I don't.
Well, then
think
you
he's
get
gonna
to
be,
availability and
Yeah.
risk. He's unplayable with the way he played last year. Putting the ball in harm's way, it was awful.
That is your NFL Blitz.
Natural Way Lawn and Tree Service. Right now, it is raining like crazy. But you know what that means? It means spring is coming, and that means your lawn will start to take root. You want to give my guys over at Natural Way Lawn and Tree Service a call right now. 888-GET-GREEN. That's 888-GET-GREEN. And if you do it by the end of the month, you can save green when you prepay. I'll get into that a little bit later. But it's Natural Way Lawn and Tree Service will come up with a design and a plan for your lawn. If you're tired of fighting the weeds and watching grass grow thin every summer, now is the time to take control of it. They'll come up with a plan because it's easier to prevent a problem than it is to fix a problem. And early treatment sets the tone for the entire season. And for a limited time, when you purchase a full lawn program, you'll get free grub control. But you got to mention my name. Tell them Rico from 97.1 said to give you a call. When you call 888-GET-GREEN, Natural Way Lawn and Tree Service will come out and take care of your lawn because they've been taking care of Michigan since 1990. Call 888-GET-GREEN or go online at naturalwaylawn.com.
Okay, knock out a phone call here for a legend of the program. Tomorrow, deadline day, Kenny will be saying his rosary this evening. We'll see what Stevie's going to deliver for us. We're going to go to T. He gets the last word of the day. T, what's good, buddy?
What's going on, fellas?
What's up, T?
So, look, this will be my rare Piston NBA talk, but they need to just send a message. It's not so much of whether or not they play in the finals or not, but they got blasted, got slapped around. So if you got any type of integrity about yourself, you need to come out tonight and return the favor. So that's my NBA take. But you know what I want to talk about.
Brad Holmes.
Come on, man. He is probably 1B like John L. Smith's bowels, Mike. Okay?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I'm just saying. You know, I've been on the soapbox or a disintegrated soap box. Brad Holmes was touted as a great collegiate scout, correct? That was his forte. Is that right? At least that's what I heard.
Yeah.
Well, with that being said, I wouldn't take him to Vegas and play poker, okay? He's kind of like a slot machine player, right? When you constantly try to rest on your laurels, and that's why he was talking about receipts and all this crap, and Matt Stafford gave you a booty of draft choices that you used your gift of intellect to get those guys. I give you that. But when it comes to really assessing what you need to become a serious championship Super Bowl contender, I hate to keep going back to San Francisco. But once he didn't address the main need that you need to win in the NFL, which is defense, and you're still sitting here acting as if you can fall in love with your players, as you guys always say. You can go get these guys who've been, hurt, injured, and I can rehab the guy because we've got the greatest medical staff in the world. And you never really address. In my opinion, if you gave up Dave Montgomery, you better pick 4 defensive players. And as I've stated before, don't get a young guy. Get some goons with some traction.
Well, that's what we want. I mean, T, that's what we're looking for. And again, none of this is going to be remotely possible until we hear the restructures. And that's, T, March 11th, it's March 5th. So I'm hoping we get to do some fun shows. But with the reporting so far, Chicago radio. Sorry, Bears made a big move, and it looks like they're getting Crosby. What do you want me to do, whistle by the graveyard? Here, I'll put earplugs in and just pretend. Riggs, talk to me. What's coming up next?
So do we like Rob Thomas or Vincent Trocheck?
Trocheck.
I agree. I mean, Trocheck more affordable. He's got like a 5.2 cap hit. Still under term till 29. Rob Thomas under term till 31, but he's like $8 million. Either one I'm good with. Either one I don't think you're getting.
So not rental. Gotcha.
What about Rustalainen?
Ooh, I like him too.
You just need some grit.
How about Oliver Ekman-Larsson? What about Nazem Kadri? Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go.
Wojo's here to save the day.
Oh, thank you.
Woj, you pick up the pace a little, will you please?
He's tired. He's been writing
I thought
all
you said
day.
he wasn't showing up today.
I mean, Wojo is working hard. He made an effort to get here. He deserves a raise.
Who said I wasn't showing up today?
I wasn't quite sure you would.
What is the game plan
Rigger's
here?
a moron. He doesn't listen to anything a person says.
This guy is my radio partner. He comes in just hurling bombs.
Because you have leg day at the gym?
No!
That's funny. That's the funniest thing I heard all
Wojo
day.
is getting up under that squat rack. You moving 375?
When
What
was
do you
the
got?
last time I was in a gym?
18 years old?
No, he said gym, not gin.
Oh, I've been in
Well, that was
gyms.
earlier this afternoon.
No, it wasn't. Stop it.
Wojo, what kind of grunter are you at the gym?
Oh, shut up. What do you want me to save you from? Or save me from? Or save
No,
him from?
it's normally you're like, here's what you effed up. I'm going to fix it. So do you have any grievances to air, or were we clear today?
No. I was busy with other stuff. I hate to say. I'm sorry.
He wasn't even listening.
No.
okay.
What a
No,
colleague.
I heard the Pistons, some of the Pistons talk. And yes, we are going to talk about that.
Just looking forward to watching it.
3-point shooting. Well, there's, as Rieger pointed out, 3 big games at 8 p.m.
No, there's not. There's one.
Oh, Oh, just Michigan, Iowa?
No, definitely not.
Michigan State Rutgers?
Also not.
Well, it's senior day. Are you guys going to do that stupid tradition tonight?
Okay, that you're going to upset Rico, and please don't do that.
Are you going?
It's a tradition, Rieger.
Okay, can we please?
Do you kiss the middle of your kitchen floor on senior night?
Okay, this was
success.
You asked.
Success.
He started it. Rieger started it.
I'm sorry. You guys made such a big deal about it last year.
It's like Aaron Judge. Occasions you let the ball go by.
You're right. You're right. Okay, it was a slider low and away. I never should have offered
Riley
that.
greened it.
Okay, they're gonna take you through the trade deadline.
Gonna kiss that floor.
They're
after
gonna
the game.
troll. And they'll
We're
talk
not
about
trolling.
talk about Brett Holmes. How about that?
I'll tell you who
And Steve Yzerman.
I'll tell you who the Wings are
So
getting.
if they win on Sunday, do they get to kiss the M?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh no. Dusty will pull it off. Call timeout with 2 minutes left, and
love
they're all
how-
going to kiss the
Kenny,
M. The Michigan
tomorrow
players are.
it's Trope Check Day.
that's right.
Trope
Hey,
Check
Mike, why
Day.
don't you kiss the floor before you leave? Go ahead. Kiss your
Restalainen Day.
microphone.
We're out of
I
here.
got something for you to kiss.
Kiss it.